hating ass bitches, you still talking. Shining with my blood, I'm a day walker. I be with my brother like Eli. Smoke a red room, every beat get a green light. Every beat get a beat down. She used to like girls, now she like meat now. I'm a hothead, chill out. Fucking with that white, make you get out, chill out. I'm the wolf pack, son of Sam.
Ladies and gentlemen, top of the morning to you. This is episode 74, guys. That song in the beginning is an unreleased song that we will be releasing soon. It's called Daywalker. And I said a lot of bad things on the song, actually. So, yeah, I mean, like, I'm the Wolfpack son of Sam. Like, it's rap, by the way. You gotta remember that when you're judging me. But, yeah, we're gonna get straight into it tonight, guys. This week was huge, bro. Pause. Fran, and I mean you, Fran. I've been actually doing this thing with Francis, and I'll walk up to her, like, I've been stalking her, like, on purpose, so, like, she'll be, like, zoning or, like, putting fadeaway or whatever, and, like, I'll, like, purposely, like, try to, like, make it to I can get as close to her as I can without, without her knowing. So last week, she was coming out of the front door, and I was, like, I pretended to be, like, a bum, and I was, like, hey, baby, and she didn't look at me. I was, like, cool, good, I got her. So, like, I'm meeting her as she's coming on the other side of a pole, and I go behind it, and I walk up to her hella close, bro, and she's, like, bent over to get something in her bag, but which I didn't know it was pepper spray. So she knew somebody was, like, trying to talk to her and fuck with her, but she didn't know it was me. So I was, like, I walked up hella close, and I just started looking at the moon with her, and I was, like, the moon looks good, doesn't it, man? And, like, she, like, turns around. She goes, oh, Andrew. And, like, she has fucking pepper spray in her hand. And I was like, Fran, dude, what? She's like, we would have got fired if I did that. I'm like, well, one, I wouldn't have snitched on you. We're not going to go in there and say, Fran fucking pepper sprayed me. Can you imagine? But two, like, that would have been such a good story for the podcast I told her. If you pepper sprayed me. Yeah. Can you imagine? One of my biggest fucking supporters fucking pepper sprayed me. And that'd be like a story that you never forget, but yeah, this week was fucking, dude, we got to get into the Ezra Miller situation that's happening. So I've covered it before on the show or on a video. I don't know if it was the show or the video, but I've covered this Ezra Miller situation. There's a lot of stuff being thrown out here, bro. Like the word kidnapping and allegedly giving drugs to minors, and in particular one minor. Like, WB has such a big problem on their hands with this after the Amber Heard situation with Johnny Depp. Which, by the way, people are so cringy for that, because instead of putting their time and effort into stuff that really matters, millions of people tuned in to see Amber Heard get shitted on. Like, for real, like, that's crazy. Can you imagine? She gets shitted on by Johnny Depp's lawyer for her shitting. So millions of people tune in for that. But imagine if millions of other people could tune in for stuff that matters, bro, shit would get really done, bro. So WB, they have the Amber Heard situation happening, then the Ezra Miller, and it's all DC stuff too, because they're on DC films, right? I'm wondering when DC is going to say something. Like, as a company, I think you should. I don't know if, like, you make it like a big dramatic thing, but how else do you explain it? If you're Warner Brothers, bro, you kind of have to say, I feel like you have to say something at this point, because I actually read from an article here. It was revealed last week that Ezra Miller has reportedly been grooming Takota, Iron Eyes, since she was 12 years old. So she's native, right?
I couldn't tell you. I have no clue.
Oh, okay. Because there's no white person named Iron Eyes. Like, there's no, I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
Should we look it up real quick?
Yeah. There's not. I mean, I've never met like a Jeremy Iron Eyes or a Trayvon Iron Eyes. Sorry, I'm just being honest, bro. But which doesn't matter to me. But Ezra Miller has been reportedly grooming Takota Iron Eyes since she was 12 years old. Now her parents Chase Iron Eyes and Sarah Jumping Eagle. Yeah, dude, there's no way she's not native. Which doesn't matter to me, but like those are actually pretty cool last names, dude. So Sarah Jumping Eagle are seeking an order of protection against Ezra Miller. They are alleging that from the moment Miller and Takota met in 2016 at Standing Rock Reservation in North Dakota.
Oh, yeah, she looks, yeah, for sure.
Really? The Fantastic Beasts and Justice League actor had been exploiting Takota. Takota was 12 years old at the time they met, and he was 23. So this is allegedly, okay? Which, that's bad, Dustin. That's bad. Not to say that you can't befriend someone in that age gap, but her parents seem to think otherwise. A judge signed a protective order in Standing Rock Tribal Court earlier this week, but the court cannot locate or serve the order to Miller because their present location is unknown, according to legal records. That's bad, dude. I mean, at this point, bro, like, at first when he was in Hawaii wilding out, you know, when he was in Hawaii, that's what the girl looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And by the way, guys, when I mentioned, oh, is she native? Like, I'm not saying it as a bad way, but you're not about to sit there and tell me your name is, I'm looking up here. You're not about to sit here and tell me that your name is Jumping Eagle and your dad's last name is Iron Eyes. And you're not about to tell me that, you know what I mean? Which is cool though, by the way. Those are cool ass names. And by the way, again, if people are still trying to argue that I mentioned their names, I have nieces and nephews who are fucking native, dude. So, like, I'm not sitting here, whatever. I can see the outrage, but do you feel like WB has to say something? And
I feel like they should have been even before this happened. This guy was arrested like fucking
multiple times in Hawaii.
3 times before this.
So he was assaulting people at a bar,
trying to kill people and shit.
Yeah, in their home, threatening to kill. Yeah, so at first I thought, hey, maybe he's trying to get. And by the way,
they talk about Amber Heard, and all she's doing is fucking fighting a defamation case. In my opinion, what he's doing is like 10 times worse than that.
Yeah, because Amber Heard was like beating one person. Like, he's doing it to multiple people. You know, he's a menace, dude. He's a fucking menace, blood. I mean, honest to God. And also, too,
how ironic is it, too, that he's on the run from law enforcement and he's the fucking Flash.
It's a meme in itself, honestly. It's a fucking meme in itself, dog.
Yeah, you can't write that, dude.
You can't write that. It's genius, actually. Not the grooming a minor part, but like everything else has been so... Well, because one, like, what are the cops doing?
They're trying to serve him...
No, but what I'm saying is, like, he busts somebody in their head, no jail time. He's in people's homes trying to, like, threaten to kill them, no jail time. No, like, it just seems like he just gets slaps on the wrist. It's almost like, get out of here, Ezra.
Classic Ezra.
Boys will be boys, eh? But, okay, and by the way, I keep saying he... I'm sorry, bro, but that's the least of my fucking concerns with the story. Sorry, I know we can get to the misgendering thing later, honestly, because that's been so crazy to me to see on Twitter. People are really arguing over his goddamn pronouns.
It's kind of cringy.
Like, they're arguing over his pronouns when this girl's parents are saying he kidnapped her and has been grooming her since 12. They skipped over, dude. Justin, remember the Shrug segment earlier this year? Hey, why is this guy allowed here when he did this? Oh, I don't know. And then it reminds me of this. The whole world is just glossing over like the biggest parts of the story because we misgendered him. Yeah, which I just did now.
You could say Ezra Miller groomed a 12-year-old minor, gave her drugs, and currently kidnapped her, and he's on the run. Did you just say he's on the run? You mean they? Did you not hear a fucking single thing I just said?
Does it matter, blood? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you guys didn't hear a goddamn thing we said, apparently. Dude, there was... like, I noticed a lot of, like... And I know Twitter... I know it's Twitter, okay? And I keep referencing Twitter, but that's where a lot of people head to when they talk about news. And I noticed majority of the outrage was because people were misgendering Ezra Miller. Which, by the way, I know I'm making like a joke of it, but I personally do respect people's pronouns. So when they say, hey, I would like to be called he, she, vice versa, I like to pride myself as somebody who respects that, okay? Because it's not a big leap for me to call them what they want to be called, right? That's not a big leap for me. But it is kind of peak comedy when he's kidnapping people and allegedly giving minors drugs. And when you say all that, did you just call him he, dude? That's not what they want to go by. And I'm pretty sure, like, I heard that they put over $200 million into the Flash movie. So there's no way they're canning it now. So they can't can it.
I don't know who was the source of what I read. We could probably put it up eventually. Or maybe it was just like a random speculative theory, but they said that like the Flash, like since they already did reshoots for different reasons and like COVID hit and then they had to do more reshoots and like all that kind of stuff, like they were saying like there's pretty much like no way they're gonna take him out and redo the whole movie. They're probably just gonna maybe
Recast.
Yeah, like afterwards, yeah. They'll probably just drop the movie, try to find a way to like not kill his character off like literally, but you know, get rid of Ezra Miller as the Flash and then just try to move forward with it.
If her parents are alleging that he... dude, I'm sorry, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I keep saying... You know, and you guys, I'm gonna just say it. I'm sorry. All right, Papa no better. You know what I mean? Papa Mongoloid, you know what I mean? But the parents are alleging that Ezra Miller's been doing this since the girl was 12. Right? So does some of the blame get put on the parents? I don't want to victim blame here, right? But like, does some of the, like, you guys, are you seriously saying that he's been doing this since the girl was 12 and you guys aren't, like, you guys just aren't willing, like, you didn't do anything?
Some like R. Kelly shit.
Yeah, it's almost like, and I know Ezra Miller wasn't like famous back then either, right? So it's not like, hey, well, you're famous, we'll just let it slide because, you know, they're famous. It's like, and which isn't good either, but it's the whole, I can kind of see where a mentally ill parent would be like, I don't know. Like, I just gave my kid to R. Kelly for 2 weeks. I let him borrow my kid. You know what I mean? It's like, they're making it sound like sugar with neighbors. Hey, you got a cup of sugar? No, I got a fucking 2 kids you can have though, dog. You want them? See what I'm saying? It's like they're bartering with kids, dude. Yeah, so too late to not do the Flash. Definitely recast though. But the fact that WB hasn't said anything, and I know they're going through a whole power restructure with, like, you know, Discovery buying parts of their company, or the whole company, in fact, I believe. Well, not the whole company, but, you know, basically they're going to be under new management. And I would feel like new management would want to jump ahead of this Amber Heard and Ezra Miller situation. Like now, actually. So, you know what I mean? But, like, there's a lot of people who worked on The Flash and Aquaman 2 that they deserve to get their work seen, and it sucks that, like, this stuff's happening to them too, you know? Aside from the victims that are involved, right? Michael Keaton, Jason Momoa, they didn't do any of this, so like, it does kind of blow that this is happening to a lot of the people involved with the film. I hope, for God's sake, people, for God's sake, like, again, and I brought this up when they were talking about the trial, right? Millions of us tuned in for this trial, right? If we could do that for things that actually matter, we would get stuff done. It's like, I'm telling you, there's a problem with shrugging. You acknowledge the problem with shrugging, and then you shrug it some more. I mean, at this point, it's like, what can we do? I mean, I don't know, dude. Before I end this segment, I do want to say one more time. Yeah, I do come across ignorant when it comes to certain subjects like pronouns. You know, I'm not one of those people that's like, I'm not gonna. You tell me all the bad stuff that he's doing, right? Or Ezra Miller, sorry. Which again, I sound like a mongoloid, but you're telling me all the bad stuff that Ezra Miller is doing, right? And the first thing I mention is that you just misgendered him. That's such a 2022 thing. I can't fucking begin to explain it, right? Because a normal person would say, you know, they might save that for last. Let's address this, and this, and then they say, hey, by the way, he doesn't go by he. They go by they, right? But no, we're literally, that's the first thing you latch onto. I would say take away social media from people, dude, at this point. Like, they take it away from us. Because back then when things were simple, you would address that at the end. I wouldn't tell you like 5 bad things that are like really horrible to people, and then the first thing you bring up, you just misgendered Ezra Miller. Like, come on, dude. We can't get more 2022 gets no more than that. In the world of 2022, things have been, and I've been one of the people that says, hey, things can't get worse, right? Like things can't get lower than what they, like the bar gets set here, and I'm like, please don't set it lower. I feel like in my personal life, that's been a thing too. Like the bar gets set here, and it just keeps, you know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, there's no way that bar gets lower, dude. There's no way, and it keeps going lower to the point where I don't think there should be a bar anymore, because that's how fucking disappointed I am. And then I saw an article the other day, and you ended up telling me that for the Buzz Lightyear movie that's coming out, they took away the same-sex kissing scene. People complained, so they added it back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now they're banning it in Saudi Arabia because the Saudi people, or not the people, because there's probably people in Saudi Arabia that are okay with same-sex people kissing, but they still banned it from there. So Disney, in my opinion, listen, Disney, you don't have to shrink Finn on the Chinese poster. You don't have to cover Chadwick Boseman's face on the Black Panther poster for the Chinese market. What I would do is just stop showing your movies over there. If these people are really sexist and homophobic and racist, like you're having to change your posters for, stop having our movies over there. What were you saying?
So it wasn't like, I mean, it probably was public backlash, but I guess the majority of the backlash that they responded to came from their actual like staff.
So the staff was mad that they took it out?
Yeah. I'm sure the public was as well, but once the staff, I guess, kind of gets involved, you gotta, do some compromising.
So the staff, okay.
So they removed it.
Now here,
the staff and public didn't like it, whatever their reasons were,
which is insane, by the way.
They ended up putting it back in.
I'm one of those people. I don't consider myself left or right, and I don't even know if I'm in the middle. Okay, but I am one of those people that, I've said this before. If you're a fan of what we do here, I feel like everybody should be looked at the same, equally, right? We treat everybody the same. Everybody can get joked about. Everybody gets the same rights, same treatment, everything. And I'm talking about everything. Now, I'm one of the, and we're going to get into this topic later, but I hate when there's like words you can't say, right? Be based on the color of your skin. I hate that. I hate that. If one group can't say a word, then nobody should say that word, right? I'm one of those people, but I'm also on the side of people getting the same treatment and rights as everybody else, right? So you can tell that Disney's not genuine when they try to add in same-sex kissing scenes, or you can just tell they're not genuine. Now, it's not that I'm mad that scene's in the Buzz Lightyear movie, right? Because there's like a lot of good people who are gay, right? And okay, so you had a same-sex kissing scene in Buzz Lightyear. Who cares, right? Because that's a thing. Now, when you start to parade it all over online and you put it up on a platter, like, look, we have gay people kissing. It just comes off as it's not genuine.
That's what I think. That's my stance towards it. Is like them announcing it, them making fucking news articles about it, basically just like using it as a marketing technique. It seems like it just doesn't seem like a genuine act of solidarity to gay people. Yeah.
And it almost seems like you're making them out to be like a joke or something. Like you're almost making them out to be like a zoo animal. Like, look, we got the lion. Look, I almost channeled my inner Bill Burr. But look, we got the fucking lion. Which, that was horrible impression. The point is, it's the same thing they do with like when Finn was in Star Wars, the trailer for Force Awakens. Hey, look, we got a black stormtrooper. It's like, hey, guys, you can put black people in leads and women in leads and black women in leads, and you can have gay people in your movies. Dude, that's something I don't care about, but it kind of offends me that you're making it a thing, because they don't do that.
Yeah, because if you're trying to normalize it, then like treat it like it's normal.
Yeah, don't like put it on a silver platter, basically. Which, good point, Ascended. Awesome point. Because at the end of the day, like, that's not, I feel like a lot of our black friends tell us that too. Like, hey, we're not asking for all this, like, like this. We're not asking for like to put us on the front page news type shit. Just treat us equally. I feel like a lot of people are just, you know what I mean? Like if you're saying it's normal, which it is.
Yeah, like, you know, like the video of fucking Nancy Pelosi and like a dashiki,
That
and
was
they're like
embarrassing.
bowing, and like black people aren't asking for that.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, dog. And also, black people aren't asking for you to like turn against your own race either. You know what I mean? You know those white people that are like, I hate white people. White people stink. White people suck. White people are the devil. Like, bro, what? You're turning against your own people to like satisfy another group? There's a bunch of dick eaters, dog. Like okay, for instance, you know, like there was like that white supremacy group that tried to infiltrate a pride event in Idaho. You didn't hear about that?
No.
Like hell of them got arrested, bro. They're fucking scum. They are terrorists, right? To me, they're terrorists. You guys were trying to harm people for a gay pride event in Idaho? You're terrorists, bro. And I don't mind calling that out. I don't mind. Like, bro, that's just say what it is, right? But the black people and gay people aren't asking for you to like turn against your own skin color to like impress them. It makes you look like you're like let me kiss your feet, master. Let me kiss your toes, king. Like, they're not asking for that, bro. But at the point is, if you're gonna put the if you're going to put the same sex kissing scene in Buzz Lightyear, put it in there and don't make a fucking thing about it, right? Because when you have a guy and a girl kissing in a movie, you don't make an article about it, right? You don't say, hey, look, we got a fucking guy and a girl kissing in this movie, right? You don't do that, right? Because you just put it in there and let the art speak for itself. Okay? If I was a part of the LGBTQ, you know, if I was actually like gay, I would feel offended by that. I would feel offended that you're making like a spectacle of it, you know? We're just asking to have the same treatment that everybody else gets. We're not asking for you to like put us on like some front page of the Zoo News and everybody look at this. And it doesn't feel like Disney's genuine about it. Which leads me to another point. It's kind of like Disney is the marquee company for what our kids watch. Am I wrong?
No, they are.
So they should be more careful what they show our kids. And I'm not talking about like older kids. I'm talking about like fucking, what age would you say like from 1 to 8 is like a very, from 1 to 7 or 1 to 8 is like a very important window where they're just kids, bro. Their minds don't care about kissing. They don't care about love and romance and who gets with who in the movie. They're just kids, right? So maybe we should start watching what we show them in general.
So one of the reasons why I don't like this whole, I don't think agenda is the right word, but I'm just going to say that because I can't think of a better word. I need to find out who she is, and I'll put it up in editing. There's a woman who works for Disney or Pixar, or she's one of like the head people. I thought she was a CEO, but I'm wrong about that. She said that she has 2 trans children.
Okay.
So she said that she's going to put representation in movies because she has 2 trans children. She's going to be putting gay people in the movies. She's going to be putting lesbian couples, trans characters. She says it's important to put that stuff in kids' movies for representation because she has 2 trans children. That, you know, that's her job.
Okay.
So you're literally admitting that you're going to force that content into the movies for that purpose.
Yeah, she shouldn't have made a thing about it though.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is that's why it just comes off like it's in like such a disingenuous way. Like you admitting that you're gonna force that in there. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't think it's almost just like bad. Like fuck, man. I don't know. It's like
I get what you're
marketing.
saying.
You're using it as marketing. Like,
yeah, I get what you're
look
saying.
at us. We're the inclusive Disney. And I used this example earlier this week. Say you're a scriptwriter. You write a story. You pitch it to Disney, and Disney's like, "Hey, Andrew, we love this script. We love this character you wrote. We think we think that it's a really cool character. We're gonna need you to make it trans before we move on with production."
I mean,
that's kind of, doesn't that sound like weird?
Yeah, that does sound weird. Yeah, I know.
That they're just like, hey, we like your story, but we need to be inclusive, so you need to make this person trans, or else we're not gonna make a movie out of it. That's kind of what I hear. That's what I heard when she made that statement. Is like that they're gonna force that into like.
How old are her kids?
I don't know. I gotta look it up because I
There's
don't even
no
remember.
way. If they're like babies, how the fuck do they even know? Sorry, I mean, and again, I have no idea what goes into any of this. So I do like Papa ignorant. Okay, Papa don't know everything. So, but we, you know, some of the most important people in this entire planet are your kids to me. Doesn't they're some of the most important
Says
people.
She's the president of Disney.
But I thought, okay, the president and CEO are different then. Okay, because when you earlier
Says Disney president wants more Disney characters to be LGBTQ plus or racial minorities, and says her own children are pansexual and transgender.
Okay, I mean,
her name's Carrie Berg, the president of Walt Disney General Entertainment.
Okay, I mean, hey, I mean,
doesn't that just seem like
it does, and that's the point. People will try to say that what me and you are saying is bad.
It might be. I mean,
it might be, and I'm willing to learn from that, and I'm willing to accept that my opinion is different from your guys's. But at the end of the day, I have no hate in my heart for any of this. I don't have hate in my heart for a same-sex kissing scene in Buzz Lightyear. Like, I'm still gonna want to go see that movie, right? I'm not gonna look at it and be like, two Goyles kissed. No, bro. Like, yeah. I'm not gonna. I just don't know how to explain it to you. Like, it when Disney does it, it doesn't seem genuine. They have a history.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the genuinity. I don't know.
Like this
of it. That's the most important thing to me, and it just doesn't seem like they're doing that. Like, hey, you know, are we inclusive? No, make it. You know, change it.
And I get it. Maybe
like, oh, you know, I kind of like this story, but we need a black guy, so you know, switch it up and then come back to me. Like, it just, that does not seem like kind of just off.
Nah. It seems more than off, right? And it seems that in our quest to include everybody, we're like overdoing it, right? Because there's just certain things that aren't for everybody, in my opinion, right? And when you try to like force a thing to be for everybody, everybody's not going to like it. You're going to have half of America mad at you and half of America happy with you. Or vice versa, either way. You're always going to have a group of people who don't like what you're doing, so everything can't be for everyone. There's no way you can make something for everyone when there's going to be people mad at you on either side, right? So, coming from Disney, it just doesn't seem genuine, and I'm gonna say it. I don't care. They don't seem genuine. They're like, oh, they made a huge deal about the whole Moses Ingram thing, like they weren't going behind people's backs and shrinking them on the poster, and I keep repeating that, but again, they're like thinking concentration camps in the credits. In China, they literally think that they literally think that Chinese concentration camp, bro, right? But they will never address that unless they have, and I didn't hear it. I didn't see them address it. So, you know what I mean? And again, we should just be more careful what we show our kids, man. Because again, before I get off that topic, some of the most important people in this world to me are your kids, Justin. And again, you know what I mean? Like, do I want? And I don't know how you feel about this, and if you want to chime in, if you can, but do I want? At the time when Avery was like, 3 or 4, does she even need to be seeing like anybody kissing and get in romantic? Does she need to even see any of that? Like at the point she's a kid, does she even need to see that?
No, I think I'm not saying you're wrong, but I think that you're overthinking it because like you're putting a sexualized spin on it when like an 8-year-old's not going to look at two people kissing and like even comprehend
what that is,
what's happening.
So
they're just like, oh, but then like movies isn't the only place you're going to see that. If a kid has two loving parents, they're going to see their parents kiss. Like, I feel like that kind of stuff is where it should end. Obviously, you don't want to see like them French kissing or
in the movie, yeah.
Or like, like being like overtly passionate. But I feel like kissing is kind of like the line. There's no above it, or you shouldn't go above it. And that's kind of where it should just be at.
What do you think?
But that's also part of the story, though.
Because parents don't want the parents don't want the gay scene because they think their kids will turn gay.
No, not even that. I'm saying like you had brought it up earlier that she was like, oh, every princess movie has a princess kissing the prince. That's kind of, it's like it's written, it's part of the story. That's like the climatic happy ending that they try to like feed you, you know,
at the end of the movie.
Why does that in Buzz Lightyear? What is like kissing? Yeah, like what does that have to do with? I haven't seen the movie yet, so I mean maybe they made
from
it make
the
sense,
screenshot I saw. It looked like two women, and it looked like one of them was like leaving because she's like an astronaut or something, right?
Oh well, I mean I guess that makes sense, but
you know, so that it didn't even look like anything, you know. And again, I'm not even mad that that's in the movie. What I'm mad about is that.
No, yeah, I'm not mad it's in the movie either. I'm just mad because we were just talking about, we kind of know their intentions behind it. They just want to be like the cool, inclusive company. Let's market towards.
What if someone said to you, "What's wrong with that?"
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, but they don't have a history of being honest with what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We just had a whole conversation about why I think that's like what. I have no problem with the scene. I have the problem with how the scene is being handled to the public.
And
like you said, they're kind of just like putting it on a platter. Like, hey guys, look we got a gay scene. Come see Buzz Lightyear.
And again, I don't know. Comment below, guys. What do you think? Are you guys going to see the Lightyear movie? Are you guys even going to, you know what I mean? What are your thoughts? And speaking of words, right? Because earlier I was mentioning how like when I was talking about groups of people and being able to say stuff. So Lizzo so there was a song, right? And I guess she says the word spaz in the song. So she changed it because apparently it's a slur in Britain. Was she from England or something?
I don't think so, no.
So I guess
No, she's from like South Carolina or North Carolina or some shit like that.
Okay, so
she's definitely from the United States.
Someone said in Britain that it's a slur against people who have cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
Okay, so she changed it because of that, right? And people were like, you learned, sis, you learned. And my question is, when I was growing up, whenever we used the word spaz, it was almost like you were out
there ready to like wild out.
Yeah, you had to go wild, right? And I don't get why, like, if there's like a small group of people, right? Let's say out of 100 people, 5 people don't like when you say the word spaz. So now 95 of us can't say that word because 5 of you didn't like it? It feels like that's what's been happening in this country lately, dude. I don't know if you agree with me, bro, but when 5 people don't like, when 5 people out of 100 don't like it, the 95 of us left have to follow what you're saying. Like at some point, when does it end? They're gonna say we're dramatic, right? But at what point does all of this end? What word is next? Because I've never heard that the word spaz was a slur ever. Never heard that until this incident.
It's because I don't think it is in our country. I think it might be in other countries, but Lizzo's not from there. She might have an audience there, but she doesn't, you know.
Now all of a sudden,
Denzel Curry has a song called Gook. Like it's literally Gook. And people are like, oh my God, that's a racial slur to Asians and, you know, that whole dilemma. But he's from a part of Florida where that doesn't mean that. Like when you say gook, it doesn't mean it's not an Asian slur from where he's from.
Damn.
And I'm glad he stood his ground on that. And he didn't change the song name. He didn't get in trouble for it or anything? I mean, that's one of those things. He got backlash, right? Yeah, he got backlash, but like, you know, I feel like when you should establish intent with like everything. Yeah, Lizzo doesn't even say, you know, I can't walk, I'm a spaz. Yeah. She doesn't say like, oh, I'm disabled, like she doesn't say that. She just says like, hold my bag, I'm about to spaz. I'm about to spaz. Like, what do you think that means? If you're not using it in like a harmful context, like they're putting a harmful context to it. Imagine being held hostage by your fan base. Change the word. Change it. Like, imagine. I can't do it, bro. That's when I feel like it's my time to bow out. Right? Which I love the supporters we have now,
because we're just all genuine people here, right? Like, I'm genuinely talking to you guys, and we're genuinely going through topics, and, you know, you're genuinely watching me right now,
I know
right?
that's the worst part too, is because it's her fan base. Like, Kanye said that in another. Kanye famously was like, you know, the song 4 or 5 Seconds with Paul McCartney and Rihanna.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Hold me back, I'm about to spaz."
Yeah.
I didn't see. I think it's her audience that puts her to such a high standard that they felt that like they could do that to her, and
she folded, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I've mentioned him before about H3 Ethan Klein. He goes through that a lot, bro. Like, his fan base hella holds him hostage, and like, you need to learn, Ethan. This is a learning session for you, bro. What? I'm Spaz.
that just doesn't
Spaz.
That doesn't sound like real things that real people say.
Yeah, dude. It's like,
Like,
what?
can you imagine me and you in a room like how we're right now, and I'm just like, "Hey, Andrew, I know you didn't mean that, bro, but this is just something you really need to learn from." That
dude,
just doesn't sound like
I'm glad
dialogue
I'm
that two
glad
humans
The
have.
second I call, and by the way, this is gonna get personal, but the second I call Justin, I call him that for dude, on the phone. The second I call Justin, I'm like, "What's up?" Like, you know what I mean? The second I call Justin, "Hey, what's up, F word boy?" Right? And that, dude, I love that about me and you. Like, about when we do that to each other, and like, and if here's what I know when there's something wrong, when Justin calls me and he doesn't call me the F word, FAGGOT. When he calls me and he doesn't say that, oh, Justin, what's wrong? Is anything wrong? Everything good with the kids? You know what I mean? Like, what, did mom fuck up again? Like, what's going on?
It goes back to what I was just saying though about like intent. Like, I can tell that there's no hurtful, you know, harmful, rude, mean, whatever you want to call it. There's no, you have to establish intent with
everything you're saying.
when you hear these kind of things.
That's crazy. I didn't know it was. I've never heard that it was a slur from anybody, anywhere. I've never heard that.
Even if it is, bro. Even if it was, it is a slur in other parts of the country. But even if it was here, like, can you not tell that she wasn't meaning harm by it?
No, because
did you really listen to the song, and did you think she was talking about disabled people? If you thought that, then like, come on, dude, what are we doing?
I mean, also too, like, did anybody with cerebral palsy even get mad about it? I mean, if they did, like, that's them, right?
That's another conversation too, about like people like involuntarily speaking up for like
a whole group of people.
Yeah, that's like a white person that's like, yeah, man, you should just call them Latinx. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, Stacy.
Cool, Stacy. Yeah, because it does.
We have to find a different white girl name.
Emily, because Emily is the name that's been getting hella clowned out for the white girl
know,
movement, bro. The blue haired, fucking spiked collar on their neck and nipples pierced, and like, oh, I think you should just call Mexicans Latinx.
Yeah, we like
Mexican
people. They didn't ask for you to be their champion.
Sorry, Emily, sit this one out, baby. You know what I mean? And yeah, so you got okay. So when she said like, okay, so Spaz, right? She says it, and people are like, "Oh, you meant it." No, bro, you're right.
She says this, okay? She says, "Do you see this shit? I'm a spaz."
Yeah, that's not. I don't know.
I almost think it's not rude. I almost think it's weird that they connected that to an ableist slur. Where did you get that from? But just because she just purely said the word?
And I'm going to say spaz because where I'm from, it doesn't mean that. And again, Justin's right. If you're not smart, because they were saying because she has a platform to send, she has such a huge platform that she needs to be educated on that. Well, guess what? I don't have a huge platform. I have 400 subscribers on YouTube. And I got 10,000 followers on TikTok. Well, 10.4. I don't want to undersell myself. 10.4, you know what I mean? But if you're watching, you can shout out if you want to sponsor me. You know, I mean, we'll do some ads, but I'm ready. But no, yeah, for sure. Like, I don't have a huge platform, so spaz, spickety spaz. You know what I mean? Spaz. But yeah, hey, that's tonight's episode, guys. I had fun. this was really entertaining, and I didn't learn a goddamn thing. I still misgendered Ezra Miller because Papa, like I said, Papa no good with that stuff. So Papa will learn when he wants, not when his fan base holds him hostage, and Fran pepper sprays me in the fucking eye. So, but yeah, till next time, guys. Peace.